Contrary to popular belief, homeschool kids are not antisocial. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Destined for Greatness Homeschooling. I am Destiny, a homeschooling mom of 3 and a business owner, and I'm using this channel to share my journey and how I balance all of the things, all of my hats as a mom, a homeschool mom, an entrepreneur, a wife, and everything that goes on in between. Today, I want to talk to you guys about how in our homeschooling journey, we do not just do homeschooling at home. Contrary to popular belief, homeschool kids are not antisocial. They actually have a lot more time to do things that they really love to do, and we have a lot more time to explore and be creative outside of our home. So if you feel like you're getting stuck, especially after the holidays, the weather is a little bit cooler, and you feel like you're kind of in a rut, I hope this video inspires you to add a little bit of creativity and experiments and go outside of your home and find some fun things to do with your homeschool children. So let's dive a little bit more into homeschooling flexibility. When my kids were in public school, they had to be at school in their seats, ready to learn by 8:20, and they got out of school at 3:20. As a homeschool family, we start school around 9:30, and depending on their grade level or the assignments that they had for that day, we are finished by noon, 1 o'clock every single day. So as you see, we are able to not only be flexible with the learning that we do, we're able to be flexible with the timing that we do it in. When we had a little bit of warmer weather, the girls were also involved in soccer. They've been in gymnastics. They've had more time to do these other activities because they were not in school for that amount of time, coming home, having to shower, having to do their homework for, say, another 2 hours. Now it's dinner time. Now we're trying to squeeze in family time, and it's bedtime all over again. So for us, one of my goals is for us to get out of the house at least once a week. Sometimes it's a little difficult depending on what we have going on, but the goal is to get out at least once a week. We can either just go outside and play, we can run errands, which they do with me sometimes, but what we really prefer to do is go on field trips, go on library visits, even going to the grocery store can be a learning experience. Another thing that I have loved doing this year as a homeschool family is hosting our local homeschool meetup at the library. So once a month, the families that we have come across or who are interested in joining us, join us at our local library, and we have so many activities and food, and it's become a wonderful experience. So for the themes that we've done like Thanksgiving themes. We've had a whole Christmas party, which was extremely fun. This coming February, we're going to do a self-love themed for Valentine's Day because, you know, the kids don't really have Valentines, but they can start to learn how to love on themselves and on each other and to be kind. What else have we done? It's been so many amazing activities, and I cannot wait to continue planning those. But that's just one of the many ways that my family has begun to branch out this homeschool year and invite other people in our community as well so that we can all have fun together. This school year, when we first started going to the library, I realized that my kids did not actually have library cards. So one of the first things we did was get them signed up to have their own individual library card. It is teaching them responsibility over their library books that they check out. And they also like being the ones that scan it in and, you know, do everything that they need to do and keeping track of the receipts. Now, that's something that obviously I can keep track of because they send me an email. But again, I'm teaching them responsibility. You have to keep track of your book. You have to put it in one spot so that we don't lose it by the time that we have to return it. You cannot rip the book. You have to care for your book. And that goes from my oldest, who is 10, on down to my youngest, who is 4. All 3 of them are responsible for the books that they check out. And they are not allowed to bring more than 3, just for my own mental, so that I can keep track of the books that they're checking out. But it's been a great experience. They love checking out different books. When I was growing up, used to love checking out books as well. I used to get like biographies and autobiographies because I loved finding out how someone got from like childhood to the professionals or the celebrities that we like grew to love. Like what happened that got them from point A to point B. I used to love reading about that. So I am really happy that they are forming a love for reading themselves. My daughter will read all of the library books that she has checked out all in one day if I let her. But we do try to encourage them to get appropriate books and books that they are interested in outside of the books that we read for review of chapter summaries and like book reports and things like that, because I want to instill in them the love of reading outside of their assignments. Another really cool thing about being at the library, especially during the daytime, is you're bound to run into other moms with kids around your age and potentially other moms who are also homeschooling. So if you are a little bit more sociable, which is something that I've had to learn to do as well, you can start building your community that way as also. There's no limit to how many moms you can connect with. And I think that that's an amazing way to, just kind of break out of your comfort zone a little bit. If you see that your kid is playing with another kid, maybe, spark up a little conversation with the mom. And I think that's another perk of us homeschooling is we get to cultivate the relationships in the families that our family is involved in. So you can kind of get a feel for the type of person or the type of upbringing that kid is around if you get to know mom. You know what I mean? So I say all that to encourage you to loosen up a little bit. I know that we have so many things to keep in mind, especially when you have more than one kid that you're trying to keep track of. But just loosening up, saying hi, something when you're around other moms, especially when y'all are all going through the same thing. You never know what type of relationship you can build from that. Now, speaking of relationships, if you've been watching my other videos, then you know that I've been talking a whole lot about our Destined for Greatness homeschooling community. And if you are not a part of that and you've been wanting to be, you need to get in there now because February is going to be full of so many amazing things. I've been planning a 14-day self-care challenge. Every day we're going to work on something else and be more mindful of something else that only affects us. Are you drinking your water? Did you eat today? Did you just take a moment? What would your dream self-care day look like? What are the types of things that make you feel good? Did you book your doctor's appointment yet? Did you find a doctor yet? The things that we often overlook because we're mom and we're busy, we're going to talk about in our 14-day self-care challenge. In addition to that, I have a surprise Black History project that is planned for the kids. So if you are in the community, I am sending out all of the activities, the videos every Sunday for the month of February. You literally don't have to do anything unless you wanted to add to your child's Black History assignment. We're going to go over some really, really cool things, some really amazing people. And part of me wants to tell you the twist on this project, but I'm gonna leave it as a special piece of information for those moms who are actually within the community. So if you have not joined yet, it's literally less than $1 a day. It is a $25 membership where you will get access to all of these different challenges, coaching sessions, workshops. I'm also doing a workshop with a surprise literacy coach that I promise you, if you have been tapped in with educational experts, literacy coaches, moms who are building brands, especially for other Black children, you know exactly who this is and you're going to be so excited. But you need to be within the membership to get the special offer that she will be offering for moms like you who have children that are between the grades K and second, and you want a little bit of help with teaching your kid how to read. You need to be in the membership. I promise you. We are so excited about this collaboration. But again, it is less than $1 a day. We spend more than that on coffee, on Chick-fil-A, on the kids' co-ops that are great for them, but maybe you have not found your village yet. If you have not, I strongly advise you to go ahead and click the link in my bio and join the Destined for Greatness homeschooling community because we've been waiting for you, sis. Just come on over. Okay, now let's talk about field trips. My kids love them a field trip. And if you've been following me on socials, you know that I talk about our schedule a lot. And if you want me to do a video breaking down our schedule throughout the week, I will definitely do that. Let me know in the comments. But on Fridays, we either play learning games, or we go on a field trip, or we have those monthly meetups that I was talking about at our local library with the other homeschooling families. Now, the field trips that we've been on have been absolutely amazing. We've been to Port Discovery, as I've mentioned, the National Children's Museum, the aquarium, the Science Center is on my list. And you'd be surprised how many other places in your area actually offer homeschool days or homeschool discounts. So we've been able to participate in a special like project or something that they are hosting at that place, and then the kids get to do whatever they want. So it's been a very, very fun experience. They always get to like really enjoy the place. It is at a discounted rate, which I absolutely enjoy. And if you feel like it might be a little bit overwhelming, tag somebody in to go with you. That's what I do because I have three, as you all know. And that 4-year-old will see something exciting and he will just walk away. So when we go to places like Port Discovery or the aquarium or the National Children's Museum, which is in a whole different state, I have brought people with me so that we can do this as a community. Right on back to that word community. You need your village. You need the people that are going to support you in this new journey so that it will not feel like it's all on you. So if you are new to me, my platform, and my story, then you don't know that I actually grew up loving music, playing music. I've been on my church's choir since I was 4 years old. And so music is a major part of my life. We've had drums, we've had pianos. Music was instilled in us from the time we could talk until now. So music is a huge part of my life. Hence, my girls' names being Lyric and Cadence. They are both musical names. I absolutely love music, if you can't tell. But one of our other favorite trips to make when we need a little break from homeschooling is to our local music store. Now, when we go in there, I personally kind of feel like we're making a little too much noise, but thankfully the staff there absolutely loves how curious the kids are. They walk around, they see shakers, and now they're shaking. They see drums, now they're banging. They see pianos, and they want to turn it all the way up and press all the keys. And even though there's like 15 keyboards or pianos, they want to try each one. The guitars, they are like in music heaven. And I like internally really love seeing the excitement that they get from being able to experience and see in person all of the different instruments. We get to have conversations like, what kind of instrument would you like to play? Which ones interest you? What are the types of different instruments? Is this a percussion instrument or is it a wind instrument? So literally everything can be a homeschool lesson, and it doesn't require you to always be at home. One day we were coming from the music store. This is one of those days where I was just, I don't know what I was thinking, but we did so many different activities in this one day. I ended up tired, but they had a blast. So we started off in the music store earlier that morning. They spent about an hour in there. We talked about all of the different types of instruments and what they do and things like that. And then we went to the library. So then they got to play even more, and we played restaurant, and they pretended like they were on Chopped, which is another thing that my kids love to do. They love pretending that they are on a cooking show and they're presenting their dish, and we have to judge it and things like that. And we talk about why some foods are often paired with others. That again, there is a lesson in everything. Just like they tell us content creators that everything is content, everything is a lesson. So if you get nothing else from this video, understand that everything is a lesson, regardless of where you are. And my next part of this story is the perfect example of that. We were also in the car, so we talked about traffic signs. We talked about the lights. My 4-year-old, hey, what does the red light mean? What does the yellow light mean? What does the green light mean? Asking my daughters, what does CT on the street sign mean? Does it mean court? What does RD mean? It means road. Thank you. Great. What do you think this traffic sign means? And then I realized, you know what? It's been a long day and I should probably still figure out dinner. Wait, I could actually make this another assignment. Half of my brain, I'm convinced, is always thinking about content, and the other half is always thinking about lessons. So I'm thinking, and I'm like, wait, I do have to figure out dinner, but another thing my kids love to do is to help me with dinner. So what if I make this another project? And lo and behold, I asked them, how would you like it if you picked dinner tonight? They're thinking, oh, great, let's go to such and such place. Like, no, what if we go to the grocery store? And based off of what I have told you thus far about grocery stores and prices and how you put things together, you have to shop for every ingredient that will be used for the meal that you want to make for dinner. God, you would have thought I told them they were going to Disney World. They were so excited. They ended up making bacon cheeseburgers and homemade french fries and ice cream for dessert. They didn't make the ice cream, but I actually didn't have to give them many instructions. I was very proud to see them put it all together. So they even got a lesson in weighing things when we went to go grab like the tomatoes that they wanted to put on the burger, or the potatoes, whatever the produce was. I can't remember at the moment, but they had to weigh it. Okay, now let's figure out what the scale says and what are we going to do about that? Is that going to be enough? Should we get the little pack of potatoes that has like 3 of them when you have a family of 5? Or should we get the big bag to make sure that we have enough french fries? Those are the only types of tips that I had to give them, just so that they would think. And they ended up making very, very smart decisions. I was so proud. So they picked out everything from the ground beef, the vegetables that went on top of the burger, like the lettuce, the tomatoes. They picked, I think, red onion too. They did bacon, they got the cheese, they got the bread. When we got to the bread aisle, it was a matter of, do you think we should get these hamburger rolls or these hamburger rolls? It has this many versus that many, this price versus that price. What do you think we should do? That might have been my favorite project so far, to be honest. And then when we all got back home, they put on their little aprons and I gave them all the tools that they needed, and they did an amazing job. All I had to do was make sure that they were okay at the stove. So I helped a little bit more when we got to the stove part and actually cooking the hamburgers. But all of the prep work and just about everything else, they were able to do themselves. And this all came from us doing things outside of our home. Obviously, they had to cook it when we got home, but the rest of the things that we did that day did not involve a workbook. It did not involve a pencil. It did not involve a computer program. It was not even strategically. It was just us being intentional about not staying home all the time and finding ways to include learning in our everyday life. So I know I mentioned us playing learning games on Fridays, which is something else that we do, especially when it's like a rainy day like it is today. We have Junior Scrabble. We have a lot of games that we have purchased or that have been given to us, but here's a few suggestions for if you don't want to buy any more games. So we have also taken our Uno cards. Uno is also a really good game when you have a younger kid like mine, like my 4-year-old. And when we're playing, he has to recognize the colors, he has to recognize the numbers in order to match the cards up. And he's become very good at not just the game, but using those skills as well. But in addition to using Uno for Uno, we've also used them in 2 different stacks for the girls. So one girl gets one stack, the other daughter gets another stack, not girl. And we go 1, 2, 3, go. They both pick up a card from their stack, and whoever adds the cards or subtracts, multiplies, or divides the cards together first gets both of them.
You're drawing 14 circles.
That game has brought out some real competitiveness in my house. But it is one that we do love to play. Matching games. If you don't want to actually buy a matching game, you can literally make a matching game out of anything. Construction paper. You can make it out of sight words, which we've also done. You can make it out of spelling words, which we've also done. So when it comes to a point in the week where they're getting closer to their spelling test, which I typically do on Fridays as well, just takes a few minutes, I will have them quiz each other. And when just reading off of the card gets boring, I'll have them make a duplicate of each card and then create matching games from them. That gives them a little bit more practice of recognizing the word. So hopefully as their brain continues to process seeing it more, when they're, panicking a little bit because they feel like they don't remember how to spell the word, when we go to our test, it's like, I can actually see it because I've seen it multiple times. Because if you tell a kid, especially at the age of mine, just to study flashcards, they're probably daydreaming, to be honest. So we are going to find creative ways for them to like learning. One thing that I've been doing with my son is actually putting words on index cards all around our house, so he doesn't feel like I'm just drilling sight words at him all of the time. These are words that he actually likes. Like we have a water filter. So I put my, which is one of the words, my water, or the chair, or the clock, my toys. So things that he actually cares about and he uses very regularly. He can start to recognize not just the word that we're working on, but a word that he'll recognize later when we get to it, like water, chair, clock, things like that. We have a lot of games, but I don't know, we're a game family. So games is just something that we like. It's something that we do. And if we're not going on a trip, going outside, not a trip, like a field trip, or going outside or going to the library or having a play date, which is something else that I do try to do, especially when the weather is warmer, the games definitely come in handy. Here are a few tips for planning when you're going to do all of these things. For one, planning ahead. So we talk about this a lot in the homeschooling community. Some people are like, I wing everything. And if that works for you, cool. Some people are like, I have to plan everything to the T, to the minute. And if it don't go that way, I am pissed. If that's you, cool. I myself I'm like in between the two. I need at least a overall idea of what we're going to do that day, but I also leave the flexibility to understand that moods change, plans change, and especially with my younger two, I can't just expect them to do the one type of assignment that I had planned. I have to always have a couple of options to allow our day to continue moving smoothly. So I prefer doing like an outline of what I'm trying to achieve for the week. So I actually have an outline for a lot of things. I have an outline for the rest of the school year. So from January to May, I created another outline of the things that not just what they do with their curriculum, because some of you all know I do school with them before they get to the curriculum. So again, if you want to know exactly what our schedule is like, let me know in the comments and I'll do another video more in depth of like how that all works. But I do things with them. So I did a overall January through May, what I want us to get accomplished with the things that I teach them. And then I broke that down by month. Okay, so if I want to get all of this accomplished, let's see what I need to do in January to, set the foundation for February, March, April, and May. Okay, so now let's break that down even more. In this week or for the next 4 weeks, what does that overall goal look like? For this week, what does that look like? And then on Sundays, I sit down and I go, okay, so then today or Monday, I'm going to do this. Tuesday, we're going to do this. And it leaves a lot more room for me to switch things around. Because if I say, okay, at Monday at 10:30, we are going to do spelling, but say, somebody gets sick and now you are cleaning up the room at 10:30. I would prefer not feeling like the entire day is now thrown off because we did not do that exact thing at that exact moment. Again, if you're one of those homeschool moms who that works for you, by all means, continue doing you, boo. I think that is amazing. I just don't operate that way. So I have to leave some flexibility. If it's one of those days where I realize everybody needs to get out of the house, again, those same plans that we had will now just be done at the library or be done at, Grammy or Mimi's house. It's going to be done, but in a different type of a way. Tip number 2 would be keeping it simple. The field trip does not have to cost a lot of money. It does not have to cost any money, to be honest. If it is one of those areas where it's warmer or the seasons where it is warmer, a simple trip to the playground or a nature walk is just as good as spending a couple of dollars for the Chuck E. Cheese homeschool day. I like adding the variety of some outdoor things, some like real life interactions like the grocery store, and then some of those, homeschool days where they can be with other homeschool kids. That is one of the perks that I like of attending the homeschool days at our local like places that have homeschool days. So far I know like our skating rink sometimes has it. I mentioned the aquarium, Port Discovery, the Science Center. If you are watching this and you're not in Maryland, I would encourage you to check those types of places and see what their homeschool dates are. In our membership that I have talked about quite often, I do want to get to a place where as more moms are joining and I can kind of see where people are located, I would love to have a list of that for everyone. If you are in Maryland, that list is already there. So any field trip that is potentially existing for us or that exists in general and I may not be able to make it, it is already listed under our Maryland Mom Circle space in the community. So it really is giving you another resource so you don't have to, go through all the research and the dates and figure out pricing and all of that like I had to do. Another tip I would say would be to get your kids involved. Ask them, what is it that they would like to do? That is one thing that I did differently this school year. I asked our kids what I could do better this time that would make them love being homeschooled a little bit more. And they all collectively said, we want to be able to do things outside of the house. They were fine doing things in the house, but they wanted to, explore more and be able to attend more like homeschool days that we were not able to do the last time. So yeah, ask them. Ask them what types of things they're interested in and see what happens. You never know what type of insight they can give you. And it could be that they're not that kid. They actually would like to, just do something every once in a while. Or they're that kid that is like, hey, I want to be like at everything all the time. Once you understand your child better, you'll be able to plan accordingly for what types of activities outside of home that you guys will be able to do. I thankfully have learned that homeschooling is not just about the curriculum. It is not just about what we are, drilling in their head, what curriculum we chose, where we do it. Do we have a whole room that's decorated for schooling? Do we not? It's not about that. It is about creating a love for learning and creating an experience that works for you and your family. We have created so many amazing memories just off of the different types of activities that we've been able to participate in, whether it is home or whether it is not. If it's at the grocery store or CJ Maxx, it has been beneficial to our family to incorporate learning in everything that we do. So I strongly encourage you, if you feel like you're in that rut or you are just running out of ideas, take it outside. Literally take it outside or take it in your day-to-day life. You never know how many lessons you can teach your kid just by thinking that everything is a lesson. Again, you're driving in the car, it's a lesson. We got stuck in traffic one day and they were more impatient than I was, but it gave me an opportunity to explain to them we were stuck because of the construction workers and what they were doing. Let's talk about that. What does a construction worker do? What is it that they're doing that is holding up traffic? Let's work on our patience for one, because our mommy can't go anywhere. So what is complaining about how long it's taking actually going to do for us? Nothing. So literally anything can be a lesson. Don't stress it. If you don't have the, like the financial capability to, book a field trip every week, which I do not. Like I said, sometimes our trip is to the pet store. That is another one that we love to do. If you are going to the Walmart and there is a pet store in the nearby shopping center, go. That's another field trip. If you're in the mall, make it another learning experience, especially if your kids are older. I've had my daughters in TJ Maxx saying, oh, okay, you want to spend some money? Let's try to get some things that you actually need, like body wash. Yes, I buy your body wash, but let's go look at what they actually cost. Let's talk about taxes, because it says $5.99, but when you get to the register, it's actually going to say something different. Let's talk about it. Why is that? Where do you think this comes from? Do you think that they just make it in the back of the store, or is it distributed to them? Why is that? I mean, you have an endless amount of possibilities for how you can teach your kids outside of your home, and it does not require a extremely expensive curriculum. Now, as I said before, my children do have a online curriculum. If you want to know more about that, let me know in the comments, because I don't think I've done a video about, we actually use two, one for my oldest and my younger two have another one. We do different types of programs for like extracurricular types of things. And I also have a curriculum that I do, that I have created, on things that I want them to learn in addition to what they are doing on the computer. But at the end of the day, you know your child best. You know what they are capable of. You know what they like and what they do not like. You know when you need a break. You know when you need to push forward. The awesome thing, and I've said this a few times in my content lately, the awesome thing about being a homeschool mom is that you're a mom first. So nobody knows your kid better than you. Nobody knows their ups and their downs. Nobody can pinpoint when they're in a good mood, or like I said, when you need to push a little harder because they just don't want to do it, or when everybody needs to take a step back and just do nothing and watch educational videos for the day. You know when you need to switch it up. Let's go, grab lunch and try again, or let's go outside. And now that we're outside, now let's talk about it. You know, because you're mom. Teacher comes under mom. They can work well together, but when it comes to making decisions about when you do school in the house and when you don't, I think you have that covered because you're an amazing mom. So if you loved this video, please like, comment. If you have not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and let me know what other videos you want me to do, what other information about our homeschooling experience that you want to know more about. I'm also a life coach. I've been mentoring moms in self-confidence and as well as homeschooling, and getting your routines in check so that you can follow your goals and your dreams as well. We could do videos on that. I also do a lot of makeup and like self-care content as a certified makeup artist as well. So your girl is multifaceted. So let me know what types of videos you want to see going forward, because I'm here for the mama, okay? I am here to make sure that we are fulfilling our destiny at its fullest and becoming the moms and the homeschool moms that God has intended for us to do. We can do it. And you have your homegirl here to help you along with this journey. So let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.